Hello everyone, this is Denver Test Driver, and here we are at the Factory X presenting press conference for Chris Gutierrez and Cody Brundage upcoming fights. Chris Gutierrez is going to be fighting Frankie Edgar, and Mr. Cody, we're going to be fighting a guy from Brazil, DTD. So we're going to start with the first questions. Who's next?
Hello everyone. Our first question will be for Chris Gutierrez. Hi Chris, in your previous fight you TKO'd your opponent by dropping him with a huge back fist, which made impressive highlights in MMA. How did you feel in that moment?
Feel great, you know. Felt like almost felt surreal. Almost, you know, almost felt like it was a dream. Like I said before, like when I initially did the spin, everything kind of went quiet, and then I could hear the smack hit, and then whenever he fell, that's whenever like everything came to life, and it was a surreal moment.
Wow, that's amazing. And then regarding your future fight with Frankie Edgar, your opponent is 10 years older than you. However, he has a huge amount of experience fighting veterans in the UFC. Do you think that age will play in your advantage being a young and fresh fighter?
Yeah, of course. You know, he's taken a lot of punishment throughout the years, and yeah, I think it plays a huge factor for me.
Awesome. Our next questions are going to be for Cody. Cody, you're a young prospect in the UFC who's about to make some noise. Your last performance was great and you knocked out your previous opponent. What are your thoughts on this upcoming fight and how will it play out?
I think this fight's definitely my toughest fight to date, which I'm excited for. I feel like you always want to be punching up, so to speak. You know, I feel like my opponent's pretty highly regarded. He has a lot of credentials, and like you said, I'm new in the sport, and I have a lot of great guys around me, a lot of vets around me, so I feel like my learning is super accelerated. So I'm just excited to fight a tough dude and keep the streak going and finish the year off right.
Awesome. And then for the second question, you will have your fourth fight in the UFC, and this time already as a co-main event. How are you feeling inside, and does it make this fight even more special to you since you're facing a very dangerous opponent?
I don't know if it's more special. I feel like I see some of the guys in the gym and how talented they are, and sometimes I wake up, I'm like, I can't believe I'm in the UFC, because just looking around my room every day, I see how much talent we have and how good people are. And I mean, being co-main is something that's pretty cool, and I'm excited for that, definitely. Like I said, I always want to be punching up. I always want to be higher on the card, fighting better opponents, trying to get into the rankings, things like that. So those are all positive things moving forward. And the fact that my opponent is super dangerous, I think is just going to bring out my best performance.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, folks, a question from DTD, Mr. Chris. It's been quite some time that we worked together as well, did a project in the past. After your recent fight that you won again, what did you do to relax? Like, what was the mental build-up for this upcoming fight? What was the main focus as well?
For this fight or
For this fight, for this upcoming fight?
I mean, everything's pretty much the same. You know, of course, I'm always working to better myself as a martial artist and, you know, focus on my game. But yeah, I mean, I feel mentally strong, and yeah, I'm just excited at this point.
Awesome. Cody, I was watching the fight when you won with a punch and then TKO ground and pound on the top. It was a crazy energy at the time. This upcoming fight is going to be pretty intense as well against the black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Do you think the ground game will be applied? Do you think there's going to be a lot of wrestling, grappling in there?
I think maybe later on in the fight, but to start the fight, I kind of want to work my striking. I feel like one of my best attributes is that I feel comfortable everywhere. I'm not just a wrestler. I'm not just a grappler. I feel like I can win a fight anywhere. And I'm a finisher. You know, I feel like I have really good killer instinct. I feel like I look for the finish in all my fights. So wherever the fight takes place, I'm not going to be intimidated to go anywhere based off of his credentials. You know, I'm just focused on my game and what I bring to the table, and less worried about what he's bringing to the table. And I feel like that leads to my best performances.
Nice.
Our last question is for Chris. You have 9 wins by knockout and 3 wins with first round finishes. You've been dominating the bantamweight division, breaking the rankings. Is your goal to send Frankie Edgar to retirement for good, or you just prefer to finish a fight with a highlight again? And who would you love to fight in the next top 10?
I mean, yeah, I mean, both, really. You know, my goal is to win, right? And so that's my objective for this fight, is just to win. How I'm gonna win, I don't know yet. You know, I've never been a person to really call it. I just, whatever openings they give me, I take. And who I plan to fight afterwards, well, you know, first things first, let's take care of business November 12th, and then after that we can talk about who's next.
Thank you, Chris. And for our last question for Cody, you're fighting a dangerous opponent from Brazil who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu with 7 wins out of 8 by submission. When you mentioned you have one punch knockout power, are you planning on shutting his lights early in the fight? And what are your thoughts on him taking this fight to the ground?
I feel like he's definitely going to try to take the fight to the ground. I would. I mean, he's a multiple-time world champion in jiu-jitsu. That's where he feels comfortable. I find the knockout much better when I'm not hunting the knockout, when I just kind of let the fight come to me and flow. Like in my last fight, I feel like I threw that punch maybe 70% and was able to put the kid out. So when I'm not overthrowing and not overcommitting, it allows me to, one, find the knockout, but also not put myself in bad positions to get grappled or to get put to the ground, which is where I feel like this guy will want the fight to be. So I'm not going to over search for it, but I think I'll find a finish. Like I said, I'm a finisher. I've finished 7 of my 8 wins. This guy definitely has some holes that I can find, and I've been working hard to prepare for that. And yeah, I feel like I'll find the finish. I feel good about that.
Thank you, Cody. And then our last questions for DTD. Do you think Dana saw any of your projects that you've made in the MMA industry, and what's your message to him? Also, we noticed that there's not much noise going on or drama around DTD. Do you believe that the media in Denver and the U.S. in general are sleeping on you?
So regarding the first question regarding Dana White, we met one time in person. It was a quick meet, and then basically said goodbye. But everything else is, I'm sure if he didn't see it or see it yet, it doesn't really matter. We're putting the quality content, we're working our way, producing unique content as well, like I said. So it's okay. I'm sure he will see it one day, and maybe if they have any opportunity with their UFC team or anything like that, we can always team up and make something happen here in Colorado, because we're local here. So regarding the media in Denver and US in general, I do believe they're sleeping on us, because they don't realize what is happening. But it's okay. They can sleep. We'll continue doing our work, stay professional, and putting out great content, unique and exclusive to the other competition.
Thank you, DTD. And Chris and Cody, we look forward to your fights.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, folks.
Thank you.